Let's get started with our first news. Jiri fires back at Magomed Ankalaev. He fired back at Ankalaev, calling him a fraud following his win over Alex Pereira. Jiri said, "Congrats to Magomed, beautiful pressure. Most people don't like it, but you won the title. For now." Magomed responded with no hesitation, saying, "I think you are a fraud, and so many guys deserve it more than you. You need to go win some fights." He didn't stop there. He followed up with, "This guy is a terrible fighter." Jiri wasn't going to let that slide. He made an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show yesterday and responded to Ankalaev with full force. He said, "He doesn't know me. I don't know him personally. One thing that I can say to Ankalaev is, he can think whatever he wants, but I know that the only person who is a fraud is him." Jiri then dropped a bombshell about a past interaction, saying, "Because when I met him at the UFC Performance Institute in Las Vegas, he was very nice, friendly, and now he's a superstar, a big gangster playing these games, hyped up." Jiri made it clear that he saw right through Ankalaev's act, adding, "I understand he won the title against the worst performance of Alex Pereira's career. The only fraud here is Magomed." But Jiri didn't stop there. He continued, "Worst fighter. Every time I'm giving everything in my fights, going to finish my opponent and to give it my all. Unlike him." Jiri then criticized Ankalaev's fighting style, saying, "When he's fighting, many times in the second or third rounds, when there's a need for high performance, he's trying to run away. So that only means one thing. The only fraud here is Magomed Ankalaev." And finally, Jiri sent a warning to Ankalaev, saying, "I'll do whatever is necessary to catch him." This rivalry is getting intense, and it looks like Jiri is on a mission to prove that Ankalaev is not the champion he claims to be. Moving on to the second news, Alexander Volkanovski is confident he reclaims the featherweight title. Volkanovski is set to face Diego Lopes for the vacant featherweight title at UFC 314 next month. Despite suffering back-to-back knockout losses to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria, Volk remains unshaken and is heading into this fight with full confidence. He has promised fans that they will see the best version of him inside the octagon this time. Speaking to Engage, Volk didn't hold back, saying, "I think I can beat Diego everywhere. He's dangerous. He's going to be dangerous everywhere, so I need to sharpen up everything." He made it clear that he's preparing for all scenarios, but he still believes he has the edge in every area. Volk continued, "Even if I want to go the wrestling route or grappling route, I think I dominate there anyway. Everyone knows him for his jiu-jitsu, but trust me, I ain't worried if it goes there." Volkanovski is known for his relentless pressure, and he's making sure Lopes understands that this will be no easy fight. He added, "Can he handle the fact that even when things are going his way, I ain't quitting, I'm coming back even stronger?" Then he doubled down, "I don't even think he'll get me there, but even if he does, I think he's still going to absolutely hate being in these positions because he's going to realize, I can't stop this guy." Volkanovski is on a mission to remind the world who he is, making it clear that he is still the best featherweight on the planet. "I'll show the world and him that I'm just different." The former champion then sent a powerful message to his fans, saying, "UFC 314, you're going to see the Volkanovski you guys are used to. Trust me, he's coming back, and he's getting that belt back." There's no doubt that Volkanovski is coming in with fire in his heart and a point to prove. Can he reclaim the featherweight crown, or will Diego Lopes shock the world? UFC 314 can't come soon enough. Moving on to another news. AKA coach is open to Makhachev versus Gaethje title fight. Islam Makhachev's coach is now considering a different challenger than Arman Tsarukyan after a major lightweight shakeup this weekend, following his dominant victory over Rafael Fiziev again. On Saturday night at UFC 313, Justin Gaethje has put himself back in the mix for one last shot at UFC Gold. Gaethje has already held both the interim title and the BMF belt, but when it comes to the undisputed championship, he has fallen short twice. First against Khabib Nurmagomedov in 2020, and then against Charles Oliveira in 2022. Now with a fresh win and a number 3 ranking, there's a real possibility that Gaethje could be next in line for Islam Makhachev. Dana White hinted at this possibility during the post-fight press conference, saying, "It's not that crazy to think that Justin Gaethje might be the next one to get the title shot against Islam Makhachev now that he's ranked 3rd. Now, Javier Mendez, the legendary coach of Makhachev, has responded, and he's all for it. Speaking about the matchup, Mendes said, "Fantastic. Then it's Justin Gaethje, and we'll focus on Justin Gaethje. That would be ideal for us. The perfect matchup based on where he's standing and what he's done. And he's a big, known guy. Islam hasn't fought him yet, so he's perfect." For Makhachev, this fight could be a legacy-defining moment, as Gaethje is one of the most exciting fighters in UFC history. Known for his relentless pressure, brutal leg kicks, and knockout power, Gaethje would be a very different challenge from Makhachev's previous opponents. However, Makhachev's elite wrestling and dominant control could be the key to shutting down Gaethje's power and aggression. The question is, will the UFC book it? Arman Tsarukyan is also in the mix after his controversial win over Charles Oliveira, and many fans believe he should get the next shot. But if Dana White and Team Makhachev agree that Gaethje is the fight to make, then we could be looking at an absolute war for the belt. Islam Makhachev versus Justin Gaethje. Does it happen next? UFC fans, get ready. Moving on to another news. Henry Cejudo blames Alex Pereira's lifestyle for UFC 313 loss. Henry Cejudo believes that Alex Pereira's lifestyle may have finally caught up with him at UFC 313. During a recent episode of the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman, Cejudo shared his concerns that Pereira's outside activities might be negatively impacting his performance inside the octagon. Cejudo didn't hold back, saying, "I think Alex Pereira's lifestyle is finally catching up to him. The travel, the chaos, a lot of the skits, and a lot of stuff that he's actually doing. It's really not doing him any service." The reason why I say this is because his body looked different. Dude, he looked a little pudgier, he looked thicker in the face. While giving credit to Magomed Ankalaev for his dominant victory, Cejudo also pointed out that Pereira didn't look like his usual self. He emphasized that Ankalaev's discipline and composure were key to his win, stating, "Going in, we have to credit Magomed Ankalaev. He did a really good job. His composure, bro. He didn't react to a lot of Pereira's things. The dude had his hands up the whole damn time." Another crucial factor, according to Cejudo, is that Alex Pereira has trouble with southpaws. He explained that Ankalaev's stance and striking style gave Pereira issues, and when combined with Pereira's possibly declining conditioning, it created the perfect storm for him to lose the fight. Cejudo's analysis suggests that Pereira may need to reevaluate his priorities if he wants to remain at the top of the division. He believes that all the extra attention, media appearances, and off-cage distractions could be affecting Pereira's discipline and physical shape. But what do you think? Is Henry Cejudo right about Alex Pereira's lifestyle playing a role in his loss? Or was Magomed Ankalaev just the better fighter that night? One thing is certain, if Pereira wants to reclaim his dominance, he will have to train harder, stay sharper, and be fully focused. Will we see a better and stronger Alex Pereira in his next fight? Or is this the beginning of his decline? Let us know in the comments. Moving on to another news. Brendan Schaub claims Pereira got robbed at UFC 313. Magomed Ankalaev outpointed Pereira over 5 rounds to earn a unanimous decision, with scores of 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47 from the 3 judges at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. However, not everyone agreed that the right man won. Speaking on his Thick Boy podcast, Schaub made it clear that he disagreed with the judge's decision. In his eyes, Pereira won rounds 1, 3, and 5. He didn't hold back, saying, "If you don't have Alex winning this fight 1, 3, and 5, you ain't shut. You don't know the sport." Schaub believes that Pereira did enough damage in those rounds to secure the win. He pointed out that while Ankalaev controlled certain moments with his wrestling and pressure, Pereira landed the bigger shots and caused more damage. Look at round 3, that was a clear Pereira round. Round 5, come on dude. He pushed the pace, he landed the better shots, he fought to win. Meanwhile, Ankalaev was just coasting, trying to hold on, Schaub argued. The former UFC fighter also criticized the way MMA judging works, saying that control time is often overvalued when it shouldn't be the deciding factor in close fights. He added, "We're rewarding guys for holding instead of fighting. Pereira was landing the big shots, he was doing the damage, and he was trying to finish. What more do you want?" While some fans agree with Schaub's take, others argue that Ankalaev's pressure, grappling, and overall control were enough to secure the win fairly. So what do you think? Did the judges get it wrong? Was this a robbery, or did Ankalaev earn that belt fair and square? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Moving on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev says Kamaru Usman was his toughest opponent. Khamzat Chimaev has officially named Kamaru Usman as the toughest opponent of his UFC career. The two went head-to-head in October 2023, with Usman stepping in on short notice. Despite having little time to prepare, Usman put on a highly competitive performance. Although Chimaev secured the victory via majority decision, he admitted that Usman gave him more trouble than anyone else inside the octagon. Speaking about the fight, Chimaev said, "Probably it was Usman. He defended my wrestling very well. His wrestling is good. He defended my takedowns well. He didn't let me choke his neck. I tried to choke him for 5 minutes, but his defense was too good." So yeah, it's probably him. That's a massive statement coming from Chimaev, considering that he has dominated nearly every other opponent he has faced. But Usman, the former UFC welterweight champion, showed exactly why he's considered one of the best to ever do it. Even though Usman was moving up in weight and took the fight on less than 2 weeks' notice, he still managed to push Chimaev to the limit. Many fans and analysts were impressed with Usman's ability to stuff takedowns, avoid submissions, and even land some clean shots on the feet. Chimaev has built a reputation for smashing his opponents with relentless pressure, but against Usman, he had to dig deep to secure the win. The fact that he spent nearly an entire round trying to submit Usman but couldn't get the finish proves just how elite Usman's grappling and defensive skills are. With Chimaev still undefeated and looking to secure a title shot, the question now is, will we see a rematch between these two in the future? Do you think Usman would stand a better chance with a full camp, or does Chimaev simply have his number? Let us know in the comments. And finally, Magomed Ankalaev has already agreed to rematch Alex Pereira. Magomed Ankalaev has revealed that negotiations for a rematch with Alex Pereira are already underway, and he has agreed to it. The light heavyweight champion isn't backing down from the idea of running it back with Pereira, making it clear that he's ready to fight again. Speaking about the situation, Ankalaev said, "The negotiations are ongoing at the moment. I don't know who will be next for me, but we agreed instantly. If they want a rematch, we are ready." This news comes shortly after Ankalaev's victory over Pereira at UFC 313, where he won via unanimous decision after 5 hard-fought rounds. However, the decision was met with controversy, as many fans and analysts believe Pereira did enough to win. Some, like Brendan Schaub, even went as far as calling it a robbery. With the rematch already in discussions, the question remains, will Pereira be able to adjust and win this time, or will Ankalaev prove once again that he is the rightful champion? There's no doubt that a second fight between these two would be a must-watch event. Pereira will likely come back stronger and more prepared, while Ankalaev will be looking to shut down any doubts and solidify his status as the best light heavyweight in the world. Would you like to see Ankalaev versus Pereira Dois? Who do you think wins the rematch? Let us know in the comments. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder reacted to Bobby Green's brutal knockout loss to Mauricio Rufai over the weekend. Rufai secured a victory with a highlight reel spinning wheel kick in the first round, knocking Green out cold. Green is now facing a tough stretch in his career, having lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. Bisping believes the issue ultimately stems from Green fighting with his hands down, leaving him vulnerable to such strikes. He's lost 3 out of his last 4 now. I mean, he got badly beaten by Jalen Turner, who we'll talk about in a bit. He also got wheel kicked last night. Well, Saturday night. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, Mo and Patty put him out bad with a choke, an armbar situation. So yeah, he's really had a rough go, and it just shows you, man, Father Time catches up with everyone. And he's had a lot of fights, like 73,000 fights. That's the problem for Bobby. Listen, we love Bobby. We love the way he talks, his attitude, but you can't have your hands low like that. I mean, I love it. It's cool as hell when he's doing his thing, but not when you've got a guy that can kick like that. Not when you've got a guy who can literally throw taekwondo wheel kicks like that. You've either got to be all the way out or have your guard up. You can't have your foot up against the back of the cage and have no hands up to defend. You're just going to get cracked.